What's up everybody, Matt from TGI here, bringing you our review of Life is Strange Episode 1 for the PlayStation 4. So just very quickly before I jump into this review, if you're not familiar with our content before, well firstly welcome, but if you are familiar with our channel, thank you for following us. But as you will have noticed, this is our first video review on a video game. Obviously we do talk about video games quite a lot in our other episodes, Game Week Show and Party Chat, but as we try to bring you more content over the next year and hopefully beyond, I really wanted to venture into some video reviews, and I thought what better place to start than the first 2015 game that I have played, which is Life is Strange Episode 1. So I'm just going to kind of try and go through the key points of this game, kind of how it's all set out, how it runs, how it looks, etc, etc, before kind of arriving at a conclusion of my opinion on this game. So a quick overview for anyone that's not familiar with Life is Strange. It is an episodic interactive adventure game. So for anyone who doesn't know what that means, just think Telltale. I'm sure you've played Telltale games, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Wolf Among Us, Tales of Borderland. It's very much kind of like a film that you interact with. It's very story driven. Choices are made in the dialogue which kind of affects how the story then turns out. So what this is made by a French developer called DontNod Entertainment. They're a pretty small studio but have made a few other games before, and what stands Life is Strange out differently from maybe the Telltale games is that your lead character, Max Cofield, she has the ability to time travel. So it's not quite explained why she can time travel, and I hope they do explain it, because if they don't, then that's just weird. Like, I'm all up for time travel, but you've got to explain why it's her, in my opinion. There's got to be a reason behind it, and I hope they do explain it rather than just saying, yeah, it's a video game, it's fine, it can happen. Because one of the real things that I do like about this game is the universe and how real it feels. It's very relatable. There's too many games out there now that are completely over the top, which isn't a bad thing, but they're completely over the top, or at very least they're an exaggerated reality. And it's just nice to kind of drop into a world, time travel aside, but it feels like something that you could have been a part of. You know, we've all been teenagers at some point, or we still are teenagers, and it's just it felt relatable. Max is she's a teenage photography student at school, and she just seems like a likeable teenage girl that's struggling with all the cliche teenage things that everyone has or has dealt with in time. So very quickly, this game, there is obviously a secondary cast behind Max. Bit cliche if I'm being honest. There's obviously the childhood friend that she has, which is the main secondary character, but beyond that you've got the snobby rich bitch, you've got the rich guy jock who's a jerk, you've got the guy that is chasing you and wants to get inside your pants, you've got like the cool teacher, you've got the security guy who still thinks he's in Vietnam, and then you've also got like the principal or the dean, and all he cares about is the amount of money. So it's a bit cliche on that regard, nothing too original, but I do like Max. She seems like a very strong lead character. She walks around with her iPod and her music, and she just seems, it's very good as well, I should add. If you're a fan of indie, you will like this. It very well complements the ambiance, the tone of the game. So moving on to the actual kind of story though, I won't go into too much because obviously this is a story-driven game. I don't want to give you guys spoilers, but it starts in a forest or wooded area where it's kind of stormy, it's nighttime, and you're walking towards a lighthouse. It seems quite a dark tone to start with, but when you reach the lighthouse you wake up and you realise that you're in photography class at school. So trying to compose yourself after what felt like a very real dream, you head out of class, and again, no spoilers, but you witness an unfortunate event. Let's just leave it at that. But as you witness it, you then wake up and find yourself back in class again. And there's a bit of confusion, and that's when Max realises that she can time travel and from there, that's basically how the rest of the episode plays out. It's about 2 hours long, and it's very much setting up the game. You know, it's very introductory to all those characters I mentioned before. One thing I do like about it is that there's a lot of kind of little other things there. Like, you can read through all of Max's journal, like pages and pages and pages. There's lots of other kind of characters that you can kind of converse with. You can go through people's items in their dorms. That sounds a bit creepy, but there's lots of little items you can interact with. Little nice touches that kind of diverge away from the storyline. Where this game is not perfect though. I've mentioned all the things I like, but where it really comes undone and where it really struggles, I think, is on the voice acting side. Now, I'm not necessarily saying the voice acting is bad. I mean, I've heard better. It's not bad, but where it really lets down is some of the dialogue's a bit weak. It's I don't know if it's trying to be cheesy, but it just sometimes comes off as really awkward. And also, the main thing is the lip syncing. Now, I don't know if this is because it's an English game by a French studio, guys, but the voices you're hearing and what you're hearing does not in any way match the mouth movement of your characters on screen, and that just takes you completely away from the experience in the game. And it's a shame, because as soon as I finished this game, I wanted to play more. I wanted to find out what happens to Max, what happens to Chloe, and how the story progresses. But this just takes you away from the game, and it's a shame, because I feel those limitations of the dialogue and the lip syncing is what stops making a good game being great. And it's just a shame, because those sort of things as well. I mean, the dialogue might get a bit better, but something like a lip syncing, like a technological issue, I don't think that's going to be fixed in 6 weeks in time for the next episode. So either way, I am still excited at how this game turns out. Would I recommend it? That completely depends. I would absolutely recommend it if you like a good story. If you're one that's not much for story and wants more action, then these are maybe not the games for you. I have some friends that are not big into these kind of interactive games because they want a bit more kind of activity or kind of control over what the character's doing. But anyone that likes a good story, anyone who likes those Telltale games, or even if you're not a big fan of those games, but you just like a good, real, down-to-earth story, I would be comfortable recommending this game to you all. It's a nice change of pace from what we see, and I really enjoyed it. I'm very happy I spent my money on it, and I've purchased the season pass in anticipation for the rest of the episodes. But as I said, I can't quite call it a great game because of those limitations. So, putting a score on it, we're going to be going on a 20-point scale, ranging 1 to 10. I would give it a 7.5. So, like I said, a good game, but unfortunately not a great game. I do look forward to the rest though. But in terms of the review for episode 1, that's pretty much all I've got on it. If you have liked this video, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. If you have played the game, or you want to ask me any questions about it, please do leave comments down below. I'm always happy to speak with people about video games. I could speak about video games with people for hours and not get bored of it. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time.